Hello everybody. Hope everybody is doing all right. I'm backstage at the stable, getting ready to do a show, my first one for 2012, and just notice, I just want to point something out. I just texted Diva Kingsley because I just wanted to share my frustration with her. She's frustrated enough on her own, but the robbers got pretty much most of my rings, and it's funny because Detroit, when I was in Detroit for the first part of my drag career, I didn't do a lot of jewelry. Um, I'd have a few rings here and there and bracelets and earrings, but nothing over the top. Like some of these girls, they have like door knockers on their ears and stuff. And I never was into that sort of thing. Like I like this. This is great for walk around, the Swarovski crystals, which they didn't get, thank God. But they got my rings, including my parents' wedding ring set, which I'm not even going to go there. But it's like, you know what? Thanks, robbers. Thanks. Now I get to wear one ring per outfit until I can get some more. It's a reminder. It's another reminder. I'm sure just like when Diva goes home to watch, she can't really watch TV yet. So it's just, it's like, or get on the computer, just the simple everyday things we're used to doing. And then just something as simple as rings for a show, it's like, damn, now you messing with my drag now. I mean, you can't mess with the drag. But they did, but we're resilient queens, and this too shall pass, and we'll get new rings, and I'll be blinging again in no time soon. But it just really, like I say, with it being just a reminder of it, it's just like I didn't need it. I really didn't need it. But today is a good day. I'm going to do a few numbers tonight, and I'm just looking forward to seeing everybody, So... Since we're here live at the liquor cellar, this is our dressing area here. That's some of Lady Fancy's costumes, and those are her wigs for tonight. I'm presuming she's doing Dolly Parton. It just looks like she would be doing Dolly with all that. But it's like I'm surrounded by liquor. I love it. I don't drink half of this stuff. Like gin. I've never really been a gin drinker. In fact, I have an interesting gin story. I learned something. When Snoop Dogg's Gin and Juice was out, I was at the bar one night, and I told Natalie was the bartender back in Detroit at Shoppers Lounge. Oh my God, I am dating myself. That was the most ghetto fabulous bar in a lot of ways. It was a wonderful bar to go to after work. It was downtown Detroit. It was like a hole in the wall. It was really small, probably smaller than Monkey Business actually. And it was cool. Like after your day at work, you'd go in there, have a cocktail or two, talk to the locals. I actually wrote about that bar in my book, but then you would come there at night and it was like, you could just smell the sex like permeating through the walls. It was terrible. It was all sweaty and nasty and just, every other person had a gun on them. You're just like, oh my God, am I going to survive? I never had any problems there. I was always the only white person there too, which was always interesting. But it just, I don't know, they looked at me as one of theirs, so they didn't bother me too much. It was cool. They thought it was cool I would come there, but I didn't go there too much at night. But one night I did go. I kind of like stayed over after the after work crowd was leaving, and the night people were starting to come in. And I said, let me try a gin and juice. And she's like, don't drink something you don't normally drink. And she was so right, because that totally did not agree with me. It was bad. I mean, it wasn't bad, but it was just like it messed with my head a little bit. And I don't like it when liquor does that. I like to have a little bit of control still, So, speaking of liquor, I do have some drunken tales from the past that I could share with you that are also, I put them in my books as well, of course. But for the sake of getting ready, I thought, why not just, as I belly up to a cocktail right now. Oh, and they make them good here at this table. I have, back in the past, I did it a few times. My advice to someone drinking, never drink to get drunk. At least it never worked for me because I would get so sick. There was one night where I was so upset at the guy I was dating at the time, now an ex, of course, my last ex, that I was just like, I'm going to get drunk tonight. I went home, child. My dad used to have 7 Crown and rum and, just all these different weird exotic ones too. And then he had like Jack Daniels and Tennessee whiskey and there's some vodka in there. Child, I took some fruit punch in a big 32-ounce plastic cup. I took some fruit punch and mixed in like a little bit of every liquor he had in the house, which I couldn't even, this stuff tasted so toxic. I felt like I was drinking raw sewage, and it was like, it tasted awful, but the more I drank it, the more buzzed I felt and the better I felt. And I was like, we are going out dancing tonight. I'm going to meet somebody else. Screw this guy. I am totally meeting somebody else. So David Kingsley and Monica Mystique came to pick me up. And Monica, if you're watching this, I still owe you a lunch, child. And it was Monica's car. Child, I was fine until I got in the back seat of her car. And from that point on, the minute that car started moving, it was like, I don't feel good. I'm going to throw up. Oh my God, I think I'm going to be sick. Oh my God. And Diva's like, girl, just put your head out the window. And I'm putting my head out the window. I don't know, girl. I don't feel so good. I don't think I can do this. I need to go back home. Oh my God. Oh my God. Everything was, oh my God. And Diva just never drank before. She doesn't smoke. She's not one of those. She's a Sprite girl. She don't play that. She does not play that. You see Diva, she's having fun. It's totally just her being high on life. And she has a way of making you feel this small when you mess up. And she did. She's like, girl, I am so disappointed in you. I was like 22. Girl, I am so disappointed in you. And hearing that from Diva Kingsley, even back then, was like, like, how do you recover? So then, so there we are at Gigi's, and she would not let me go in, which I'm glad she didn't, but I stayed in the car. I threw up all over Monica's back seat. Not cool. Totally not cool. And then I swear, I know I had alcohol poisoning. I just laid there in the back of that car with my head out the window, upchucking down the side of her car the whole night while they went in and partied and they dealt with the car and took me home. They cleaned the car out the next day, which was very nice of Alberto. I think was the one who got stuck with that task. Well, good, serves him right. But anyway, if only you knew. But that was poetic. It was like, good, I'm glad he had to do it. So then, but it was like, oh my God, I learned so much until